Elizabeth, you're muted.
It's hard to hear you, Elizabeth.
You're muted.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Clare Brewington, and I'm the host for Brightside Global Trade TV, our podcast. And thank you, Ramona, for moderating us. And we've had a wonderful day with lovely authors, and I'll make sure that you have the reading list as well as the reviews and the links to where you can get these books from. My next speaker, I'm very excited because I have a very long name, and I have a lot of names, and to see someone with lots of names. So I'm going to read all her names. Chelsea Austin Montgomery Duban Thatcher. I hope I pronounced it right. Otherwise known as Chelsea Austin. She's a writer, speaker of self-worth, advocate from Malibu, California, raised by two of the most incredible parents, her dads. Chelsea has taken her story from being raised by two gay men and used it as a platform to spread love, and has been a great advocate for LGBTQ. She is a girl with 5 names, and she has a podcast, Worthiness Warriors, and does numerous speaking engagements. So Chelsea, we're so thrilled. And her book is Implicitly Me. I really love the book. So tell us all about it.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for saying all the names. Usually I get 1 or 2, but all 5. I'm very impressed and I'm very grateful. And yes, this is my book, Inexplicably Me, which is also a hard word to say. So I catch people all the time with complicated words. But it's the story as my daughter of 2 gay men, both of whom I am biologically related to. And that was the first time it actually happened in the state of California, was when I was born. A quick kind of rundown on how that happened is I'll use my parents' first names so it doesn't get confusing. They used Kevin, my dad's sperm, and Dennis, my daddy's sister's egg, and then my cousin carried me. So to say it's all in the family, it's a whole new meaning to that. And when I was born, my daddy, Dennis, had to do a single parent adoption in order for both of my parents to be on my birth certificate as parent and parent. And that was the first time that happened in California. And they had to actually go through the full adoption process, even though I was already their child, which was a lot of work. And my book is really about how we are all so much more similar than we are different. And I feel really honored to be included in this group of amazing authors. I've lived a short 29 years on this planet. And in those 29 years, though, a lot's happened. And my book covers a lot of how I've overcome the challenges, like one of my parents spending time in a federal prison camp, to my biological mom passing away from lung cancer, and school bullying. That is something that was very real for me, and how to move through that. And my hope is that especially young women will learn that to tap into their self-worth and self-confidence as early as possible, and understand that there's nothing you have to do or be or prove in order to be enough. And that just by waking up in the morning, you are worthy and valuable. And that's something that my parents always made sure I knew, but it was really from the outside world that I started to question my own self-worth and my own confidence. In high school, I sat at a table of my peers, and someone asked me how much it cost for my parents to have me. And I responded, I don't know, but I guess it was expensive, which was the truth. And someone replied, well, were you worth it? And it was in that moment that I really internalized this idea of I have to show the world that I was worth the emotional, the physical, the political fallout that it took for my parents to have me, and that it was my job to show the world that 2 gay men could raise an incredible daughter. And that was a lot of pressure to put on myself. And I hope that no one else would have to go through that kind of experience. And while my story may be very unique, I believe it has a lot of universal truths about how we can be kind to each other and love each other. And that I believe self-acceptance is really where to start if you want to start accepting and loving others. And I hope that my book can be a bridge for people who maybe don't understand people that might look a little different than them or have a family that's a little different from them, and how we can come together as opposed to continue to push each other apart. So that is the very quick synopsis of what Inexplicably Me is. It has lots of fun tidbits too. I think the best way to reach people is first to make them laugh and then to make them cry. So that's my hope, that you get a little bit of both of those things in my book. And yes, I am an open book, obviously. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Any
That
questions?
sounds fascinating.
Thank you. Thank you.
It does.
Yes, that's awesome.
Incredible.
Any questions?
I totally have questions. I love that you're doing this book. My son is gay. And actually, you know, I have a chapter about that in my book, and he and his partner are trying to decide how they're going to bring children into their lives. And I'm just so excited that you wrote this book. I just, yay. And I love it. What is it again? Your dad's sperm, his
my daddy's sister's egg. So my daddy is my biological uncle and my dad is my biological dad. So
okay.
I have a whole chart. I have a chart I can pull up if you want it, because I tend to come with the chart. So.
Your book should be all in the family.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Any other questions?
Yeah, so the question I have, Chelsea, I mean, it's not about the book, it's about you. So when you said your biological mom passed away, are you talking about the woman who supplied the egg or the one who carried you? The one who supplied the egg?
The one who supplied the egg, yes. I'm not very close. My cousin who carried me, she's a wonderful human being. I'm obviously very, very grateful to her, but we were not very close. However, my auntie, the one who donated the egg, she and I were very, very tight. Very close. I actually lived 7 blocks away from her. We moved in and then she passed away about 2 months later. So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
The one question I had was sort of about your dads and how they were able to navigate things. Were they lawyers, or were they really connected politically? Like, how did they figure this out, especially when it wasn't very acceptable? I mean, if you're the first case, you know, it's like, I know California is progressive, I'm from the state, but like, how did they navigate this?
That's a great question. They hired a lot of lawyers. They're definitely not lawyers. But they decided they wanted to have a child. And then for them, it was really important that I was related to both of them. It wasn't that adoption would be a beautiful option, but for them, they wanted me to be related to them. So they actually just tried to figure out how could we do it that would keep it in the family. And my daddy's sister and my daddy are very, very close. My dad's sister is not so okay with the whole my parents being gay thing. So we knew she probably wouldn't donate an egg, which made it pretty easy then to say, okay, we're going to pull the egg from this side and the sperm from this side. And then they went to a lawyer to say, how do we get both of our names on her birth certificate? Because it would have been a really scary thing if something happened to one of my parents and the other one wasn't automatically able to take care of me because they're my parents. So everybody had to get a lawyer. Everyone before they went through the process had to have psychological checks, background checks, everything. It was a very long process and 3 attempts. But then finally I popped out.
It definitely took a village.
Yes. I think I've ever heard a story like this.
No.
I think half of Los Angeles was involved at a certain point. So, yeah.
So we definitely have something else. But thank you for joining us. And so if you're watching and write us a comment, and thank you for subscribing and doing all the right things. Thank you.